your semi-free-to-play advisor. And yeah, we're doing beginner stuff. So yeah, if you're a super advanced player, watch it for comedy, or as I always say, or else yeah, go and watch somebody that's more in your league. We're looking at beginners. We're looking at free-to-players. We're looking at players who are looking for a bit of direction, who don't really know what to do with all of these things. Got a million questions, not finding the answers. Hoping you'll find them here. If not, hopefully you'll find them on my website, www.lordsmobilefreetoplay.com. So it's lordsmobilef2p.com. I'm a bit lazy with my blog. It takes long to write stuff, a lot quicker to talk through. So I'm doing the videos now. Okay, we're going to talk familiars. You've unlocked this turf here. This is where the familiar buildings go. What to build? Okay, you do need anima. I'm going to be honest with you, you do. And to begin with, I'm assuming that your leaders that are going to be training your familiars in your gym are not very high level. So you've got basically 3 different types of building here. You've got the gym. This increases the XP of your familiars. So in other words, the level, that number that you see on the left there, my snow beast is at 51. My tidal titan at 44. That's what you get from the gym. So that's the first type of building. The second type of building is the springs. Springs do give you anima. So yeah, we want that. We want that. And it does give a little bit of merging speed boost on packs. So if you want to try and merge fast, it is to be considered. To begin with, I'll get to that now. Let's just look at the last buildings. The spires over here. Spires where you merge your packs. So, here you come and you decide which of these packs you're going to merge. And here we go. Let's just set. You're going to merge 13 of them. And off they go. Alright, so how does it all work? Let's go through that first. And then in part 2, we'll look at familiars themselves. So this is just going to be on your familiar turf. How to build it and what to do with it. And I'm going to say it is up to you. But I'm going to give you the basic principles and you can decide for yourself what you want to do. I'm going to tell you what most people do. And then you can take it from there. To begin with, if you've just unlocked this turf, I would seriously consider going for only one gym. Because of the way that familiar training works. Familiar training works on hours per hero. So in other words, let's kill the training on one of these guys. Okay. Let's go and have a look. Train. Alright, so these are the heroes that he's using. And they're gold heroes, and you can see that they're giving him an hour. Here we've got some green heroes. Remember, this is not a free-to-play account. This is a slightly messed up pay-to-play account that was gifted to me. Lower level pay heroes. And as the level of the heroes go down in terms of color. So gold heroes 1 hour. Where's that purple law weaver's lurking in there somewhere? Has her time that she can give. Oh, I've probably put it on somebody else. And so with each hero grade, that's how much time they give. Now, the amount of XP that your heroes get during training depends on the amount of hours that they're in training, and the amount of hours is determined by the heroes that you've got. When you've just unlocked, you don't actually have a lot of high-grade heroes. You don't have a lot of gold heroes. There's not really much point, I would say, personally, in having more than one gym. Having said that, check it out when you have your gyms open. Go and see, how much time is it going to be before you reset training each time. Ideally, you want to reset at a time when you're playing. If you don't, then the training expires and your gym sits idle and does absolutely sweet nothing until you set again. You don't want to be in there every 4 hours setting training unless you're very, 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 very eager. Most people are going to be looking at about 12 hours for their morning and evening game session. Some people would prefer 24 hours. So, the amount of gyms you have is determined by how often you want to set training and how long you are able to train for what is your capacity. And that will determine how many gyms you're going to do. So think it through. That is your equation. How long can you train with one gym? Does that suit you? Would you rather split that into 2 so that you can train 2 heroes at once? They're not going to get more XP, but you're going to be able to reset training more frequently. And in that sense, yes, within a 24-hour period, they can realistically, you are now developing two heroes in that same 24-hour period that, if, for argument's sake, you were setting one hero and you were training for 24 hours. So yeah, in that sense, yes, having more gyms can be helpful. I myself have 4 gyms on my main account. This one has 3. And I've kind of unevenly divided up here. I'm very lazy on this account because of its unfortunate lack of usefulness. I'm sorry to say. So that's your gyms. I would say start with 1, check it out for yourself, decide what you want to do. Then your spires, which is where you merge. Now, if you're going to look at pacts merging, the amount of time that it takes is a function of 2 things. How many pacts you're merging at once, and the level of the pact that you're merging. So if you look at this, is going to be a pain. If I were merging pact 1, which I'm not, but okay. If I were merging pact 1, I would have to set merge every 5 hours with my 1 single spire that I've got level 25 building that I've got right now. And that might not suit me. So, if I were merging pact 1, and I honestly can't remember how long it took when I was actually doing only pact 1, because obviously the level of the building also matters. But yeah, if I were merging pact 1 with this account, I would definitely look at building a couple of extra spires. It would just simply mean that this merging time over here would be longer, so that my building is productive, even when I'm offline. I would start with 1 or 2 spires. If I remember correctly, when I first started with my familiars, and that was a long time ago, I started with 2 spires, maybe even 3, just to get the merging time up to a point where I was satisfied that I could keep this building productive all the time. More spires doesn't give you a shorter time for merging per pact, but it does determine how long you're going to be merging for. Of course, you can also toggle here and decide, okay, I only want to train, I only want to merge for 12 hours, and sort of adjust it there until you're round about happy with it, which you can also do. Personally, I would say 1 spire is enough when you start out, maybe just to give yourself a little kickstart. 2. But it is up to you. There's no real wrong or right here. You're going to think it through based on your playing habits. And that's really the message here. The rest, obviously, all springs. Except for this building, which you have to have. If you want to have familiars, you've got to have this building. And that's basically just the place where your pacts end up, where your familiars, you can manage your different familiars here. Improve their skills, activate their battle skills, etc., etc. So it's kind of like a central place to keep them. A bit like this down here for your heroes, huh? But maybe with a bit extras. Not really. It's just the familiar related stuff. So that building you've got to have. You can't get around it. And you're only going to have 1 of them because that's all you need. So that's my story for today. What buildings should you put in your familiar turf? Depends on what you want to do. The amount of XP that you get from your gyms is dependent on the amount of time that your familiars spend in the gyms, and the amount of time that you want to set there depends very much on your playing habits, and that will help you to decide how many gyms you should have. A number of spires, again, you want to keep that building productive, so look and see what you can merge. You can always go to the info button there. Info. There we go. It'll tell you the number of pacts that you can merge at different levels, and you know, in the early days you might decide that you want a few extra of those. You will need anima, so you are going to have, I would say, more springs than anything else. But if you start with 1 gym, argument's sake, let's say 3 spires, and the rest all springs, I think you're round about on good track, and then you can fine tune it from there, depending on how what works for you, what keeps your buildings productive, and how that builds your familiars. Next time up, we'll take a look at the familiars themselves, what you should prioritize, what you should be interested in, what you shouldn't be interested in, what's exciting, and what's not. So that's my story for today. Hope you have a good one.